Fillmore and, the unbelievable. It's good to be alive, you know what I mean, isn't it? That's what I say. That's what I like. I find that to be the goodest thing there is. To be alive. And the reason it's so good is because it's so bad to be dead. It's not like life's so great, but compared to being smothered in earth. So every day I'm happy not. That's my goal in life, is not to die. Everybody need a goal. And so that's my New Year's resolution every year. I go, I'm not going to die. I think actually scientists should kind of look into that whole death thing, because they seem to focus on diseases. And, I don't give a with them, because, the guy go, hey, we fixed your arthritis. And they go, I'm still going to die? They go, yeah. So that, I think, is the biggest problem. That's why I can't get behind politicians, because they're always like, our biggest problem today is unemployment. And I'm like, what about getting old and sick and dying? And they usher me out the back way, but seriously, if there was a politician ever that said, by my second term, there will be no death, I go, I'm voting for that. I'd just give that guy all my money, and I'd sit on a chair. Sometimes I actually think I won't die. You ever think that? You go, it, I'm not dying. But in your mind, when, you analyze, you realize, my dad died, and my grandfather died, and my great-grandfather died, and the guy before him, I don't know, probably died. I think he died. Because otherwise he'd be on Extra. No, I come from a long line of death. That's my point. That's my point. And so I fear it, I fear it a lot. And I think most of us do, But it's funny, what we fear, how we're going to die, it's always the ways we don't die, you know what I mean? Like we go, God damn, I hope a polar bear doesn't eat me, or some crazy shit, Or I hope an airplane, I got an airplane today. Every time you get on an airplane, you go, I hope I don't die. But you never die on an airplane. Ridiculous. Or you go, I hope a terrorist does not attack and kill me. I hope that doesn't happen. You're always afraid of that. But you think about it, what's the odds that a terrorist will attack and kill you? Almost zero, But what are the odds that you will be attacked and killed by your own heart? That's good. It's about 100%, I think. Heart's not good. People think it is, but it isn't. People like hearts. They go, here's a Valentine's heart. You go, oh, yeah. They go, that guy's got a big heart. I go, you better watch it then, because an attack and kill him. I don't know if he knows that. But that's what got my dad, his heart attacked and killed him, and he was lying on his bed, and boom, dead on the floor. They said it was instantly. And my dad, he wasn't expecting it. He was looking for Arabs and shit, and his heart attacked and killed him, and he was dead instantaneously. And sad. We were all sad. When something like that happens, people will just try to make you feel better. They'll say anything, One guy said to me, don't worry, Norm. He died in his sleep. He didn't feel a thing. And I was like, really? When his heart attacked and killed him, he didn't? Because I wake up like if my cat walks across my belly. That. I don't know if my dad was that sound asleep. One guy said he's in a better place. I said he's on the floor. Dead. Earlier, he was alive on the bed. With that Tempur-Pedic pillow I bought him for Christmas. I'm no physician, but I think that's the better place over there on the bed. Your only chance if you have a heart attack is if they get there early enough. They have these things called defibrillators, and what they do is they attack your heart. Because that's all the heart understands is violence, you know? And so they get there early, they go, ah, and then your heart's like, ah, I wasn't gonna kill him. That's funny that you thought that. I was just worried he was eating too much eggs and shit. You actually get defibrillators. I urge you to get them, you know, because you can get them. I ordered them, you get them, and then you can teach your loved ones how to use them on you, and they even show how you can use them on yourself. And so I sent away for them, and I'm getting them. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. As soon as I get the box, I am going to preemptively attack my heart. And before it does anything, I'll just be like, ah, my heart's like, well, I didn't do anything. You go, right, Sonny, you're not going to. On account I'm carrying around these with me wherever I go. So I think I'll go on a roller coaster now and eat an egg. But that's all that'll get you, a heart attack or a cancer. That's the other thing, you know. My Uncle Bert, he's my great uncle, but we call him Uncle Bert. He got bowel cancer now. He's dying of it, you know. And, or like some people like to say, now they, see, in the old days, a man could just get sick and die, you know. Now they have to wage a battle. So my Uncle Bert is waging a courageous battle, which I've seen because I go and visit him, and this is the battle. He's lying in a hospital bed with a thing in his arm watching Matlock on the TV. Instead of that battle, I got him the box set of Matlock. But it's not his fault. What the f*** is he supposed to do? I got you. It's just a black thing in his bowel. And the reason I don't like it is because in the old days they go, hey, that old man died. Now they go, hey, he lost his battle. That's no way to end your life, you know. What a loser that guy was. Last thing he did was lose. He was waging a brave battle, but at the end, I guess he got kind of cowardly was what happened. And then the bowel cancer, it got brave. You got to give it to the bowel cancer. You know, they were in a battle, and then what the And I'm pretty sure, I'm not a doctor, but I'm pretty sure if the cancer dies, I mean, if you die, the cancer also dies at exactly the same time. So that, to me, is not a loss, that's a draw. That's a, you know what I mean? It's not like the cancer's gonna jump up and go, Uncle Bert's wife. Where is he? I won fair and square. Is this where he works? Hi, name's Cancer. How are you? Where do I? You just throw me to my cubicle. Bowel. First name is Bowel. No, man. I wouldn't have no brave battle when I'm dying. I'll tell you this, because I'm not brave. So when the sickle of death is over my goddamn neck, I'm going to be so cowardly. I'm afraid of going on Ferris wheels and shit. You know? I'm not going to be brave. I don't care how old I am. I could be 94. I'll be like, oh, please, oh, take my grandson. Oh, he's young and fresh. I'd gladly make a deal with the devil if there's any I've read that in literature. Anything, please. Now, listen, man, I like the news. You guys like the news? I always watch the news, and I'll tell you something about the news. I don't understand it. The newsman will come on, he'll go, good evening, everybody. This is the newsman. Whatever he says, he's not going to say that. And he goes, our top story tonight, a lady has vanished. That's the story. And then he goes, let's go outside where there's another guy. So then they cut to outside. And then there's a guy outside, and he's like, hey, listen, how's it going inside? We're outside, and we found out about this lady that vanished. Her name was Janice, and they found her car here in the Taco Bell parking lot. And don't worry about the car, it's fine. But can't find hide nor hair of the lady. Well, back to you. So then you're watching, you go, well, I don't give a on account I never knew Janice in the first place. Matter of fact, I'm kind of happy it's Janice and not somebody I know. But then what they do is they start telling you about Janice, you know? And they go, hey, we found out some cool things about Janice. And you're like, no, that's cool. I don't want to hear it. They go, no, you want to hear it. They can't help themselves. So they go, let's go back to Bill. He's still outside. And how's it going, Bill? And Bill's like, it's all right. It's no inside, but it's cool. And anyways, we found out about Janice. Turns out she's a good lady. And we found some friends of hers, and here they are. And then sure enough, they show a lady, and it says, friend of Janice. And she says, I'll tell you something about Janice. You want to hear about Janice? Janice is the type of lady that you could always turn to. You know, you ever want to turn to somebody? Like if you got a problem or something, and you feel like you want to turn? Ever do that? Or maybe your neck just hurts and you want to anyways. The point of it is that once you swiveled your head over this way, the person you'd most want to see in your eye line would be Janice. And then they have another friend of Janice that wasn't the first one. And she'll go, I'll tell you, Janice, oh my God. She was the type of lady that she could walk into a room and light up the whole room, you know? She didn't have a lighter, not like that. She would just somehow, through sheer tyranny of will, she could somehow illuminate a room. I don't know. And that'd be Janice's third friend lady that's not one of the earlier two. And then she goes, I'll tell you about Janice. Is that who you're asking me about, Janice? Janice was the type of lady that you could be talking to your best friend in the whole world, and then Janice come in and you go, you know, I'm talking to Janice. Because Janice is better than you. Come on, let's face it. She's better than all of us. So anyways, then you're at home and you start liking Janice, you know what I mean? You start getting invested in her. You go, God damn, that Janice is a cool lady. I would like to meet her one day. That would be a lot of I forgot she vanished. Just my luck. They'll find her. Then you get hope. That's not good. I don't give a what Obama says. Hope is never good. Don't try it. It never works out. So you go, oh man, they'll find Janice. They're putting pictures up of her on telephone poles. I think that had worked once. And then the news keeps showing you more things about Janice, you know? And they'll show you like the home videos of her. You're like, God damn, look at that. She's eating a pizza. I like her hair like that. They'll find her. And then you become obsessed with Janice. It's all you can think of, you know? You're at work, you just can't wait to get home, agonizing over Janice, you know, and thinking about her with eating pizza and shit. And then you go home, and your nights are just fevered dreams of, you know, Janice and bangs and shit like that. And all you can do is turn on the TV and hope, and then one day, they go, hey, more news on Janice. There's Bill, he's still outside. And then Bill is like outside, and he's like, here we are. Where, as you can see behind me, they are scouring the woods. They're still searching for Janice, And then you go, oh, not the woods. That's not... Nothing good ever happens in the woods. I've seen enough of these stories to know that Janice ain't coming bounding out of the woods anytime soon. She's like, hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm just taking a stroll through the woods. What are you taking my picture for? I just decided to take a stroll through the scraggly woods. Now, if they find you in the woods, they always find you in the same place. Every time they will find you in a shallow grave. I don't know why they don't just look there in the first place. If I was the police chief, I'd go, listen, I want every shallow grave in the vicinity checked out. I want to clear up this case by Tuesday on account of... I'm running for DA or whatever. But doesn't shallow grave seem a mite rash? Like these serial killers are supposed to be so shrewd and cunning and everything, At least according to the TV movies I've seen. And but then when it comes time for the grave, they get a little hasty, Well, there you go, 3 twigs and a leaf. That ought to do it. That doesn't look like Janice anymore. I don't recall Janice ever wearing 3 leaves and a twig. Oh, well. Guess I'll go home and await the authorities now. You gotta prepare these things, You gotta be a little smarter than that. What I would do, and I would never, ever kill a lady in cold blood. I know I say that now. I don't really know. I can't predict the future, but I don't believe I know there's no river long enough doesn't contain a bend, but I believe that right now, and it might just be vanity, I don't think I would kill a woman in cold blood. But if I did, I would plan it out very carefully, because there's a lot at stake. You think about it, you probably, probably lose your job. I don't know what happens. That's a blemish on the old CV, Even in today's enlightened society, there remains a stigma to being a psychosexual sadist. But what I would do is I would look at the lady, I would select a lady, and then I would follow her habits. You understand what I'm saying? Like I would watch her very carefully, And I go, hey, I notice that every day she goes to that cheese sandwich shop, and then she comes out with a little paper bag. I'll bet you anything there's cheese sandwiches in there. So I keep that in my head, you understand? Then I'd say, hey, I notice every Wednesday evening she goes with her other lady friends and they go down to the YWCA and they play basketball with each other, which is fine nowadays, So what I would do is on Wednesday I would go down to the YWCA, and what would I be holding in my right hand in the parking lot but a cheese sandwich? So then she would eventually come out of the YWCA, all sweaty with her, her ridiculous 3-colored ball and everything there, And then I'd be standing there. And then she'd go, hey, what's in your right hand? And I'd go, nothing. I'd be coy, And she'd go, there's something in your right hand. I go, listen, lady, who knows more about what's in their right hand? You or me? I believe, this. Now, this is just a cheese sandwich. Why, you like them or something? I got a whole van full of them over there. Right over there. Yeah, that craziest looking van you ever saw. That's filled with cheese sandwiches. You don't have to have cheese sandwiches in the van, by the way. If you're, unless you want to be known for your detailed work, it's not really necessary. Then I would get the lady in the van and I would drive her to a remote area, an area most known for its remoteness. That's what I would look for. And anyways, I'd take her to the remote area where I'd constructed a shed, and then I would get her in there and I would do that thing that makes me feel like God, and then her screams would just bounce off the walls and echo out into nowhere and never touch the ear of civilized man again. And then I would take her body to the woods and bury her in a very, very, very deep grave. Now, listen. Enough of this grimness. Although my buddy, I did want to say one thing about my buddy Richie, who has a disease. And, but it's an interesting disease he has. He has the disease of alcoholism. And he came to me, you know, and he told me, and I like to look, I'm the kind of guy who likes to look at the bright side of things, you know. Right. So I told him, I said, Richie, it's true that you have a disease and everything, but I think you got the best one. It's the only disease where you get to drink booze all the time. I haven't looked at every medical journal, but I believe it's the only disease where you can constantly drink booze. As a matter of fact, that is the disease. You know, and I don't think Richie would think if he had a disease. Like, I don't think Richie would go to my Uncle Bert, go, hey, I understand you got bowel cancer. Ah, man, I know how you feel. I gotta drink a lot of booze. Those diseases, they're tough, those diseases, huh, Uncle Bert? Hey, what's your symptoms, Uncle Bert? Well, my bowel, I got blood pouring out of it all the time. I got bowel blood pouring out, gushing out of my bowel, almost nonstop. And I got searing, clawing pains, ripping, tearing, you know, mind-screeching bowel pains. And they're combined with aching, dull, soul-deadening bowel pain. Those are basically my symptoms. How about you? I get happy. And, you know, I tend to be able to talk to people easier, I find. Sometimes I will meet a lady at a bar, got the same disease as I do, and I'll her. But that's in the latter stages of the disease. You know, but he's brave. He goes to Alcoholics Anonymous and he says, right in front of them, he says, you know, he goes in front of a whole room full of people and he says, I am an alcoholic, you know, which I know does not sound that anonymous. I didn't name the group, but sounds like the exact opposite of anonymous. Whatever. Like, to me, the alcoholics that, you know, the anonymous alcoholics, to me, would be like you guys. I don't know. I can't tell, you know? But once you tell a whole church basement full of people, your cover's pretty well blown. But anyways, it still requires a lot of... The only thing they seem to be anonymous about, from the way I can gather it, is they won't tell you their last names. Anything else goes, you know? But not the last name. No. Sometimes they'll say the first, like they'll go, I am Richie and I am an alcoholic, or the first initial. They'll say, my name is Richie K and I am an alcoholic. Then anything goes. They're like, one time I remember I was under the influence of the demon rum and I started punching my newborn in the face. Yes. I looked down at my fist and it was all bloody with, I don't know what it was. It was either from my knuckles or my son's skull. Yeah. I'm not telling you my last name. That's none of your beeswax. As far as I'm concerned, a man should have a little, Did I ever tell you about the time I blew a dog for a pint of gin? Oh, yeah, I did tell you that. First initials K, I'll give you that much. Richie K, but I'm not going to tell you the last letters. Plus, you can memorize my face. But other than that, I would like to keep this completely anonymous. If there was just a way I could... And what better way to keep a secret when you think about it than tell a room full of drunks? That's not going anyplace, Worst thing about not drinking is the sex, because if you're drinking, you can meet a girl, she'd be drunk, and then that very night, you can have sex with her, called a one-night stand. Now, if you're not drinking, I don't know if you've ever had a one-night stand dead clean sober, but I have, and it's not a lot of fun. You get back to your apartment, you're like, all right, I guess I'll take my trousers off now, ma'am. And no, I won't. Sorry about that. Well, goodbye. It's nice to meet you. I don't know what I was thinking. We're human beings. Once again, I apologize for the trousers incident. Very nice to meet you. Because booze, somehow, I don't know how it works, but it's some magic elixir where it takes away it makes you think that sex is not a dirty, filthy, shameful thing. I don't know how it does it, but it does it. And in regular life, that's why sex is so tough to get going, because it's so shameful and filthy, and obviously meant only for procreation. And so when you do it, and my friend was like, oh, there's nothing shameful about sex. But I was like, of course there is. On account of, think about what you do before sex. You know what I mean? Like you put the phone off the hook and everything like that. You make sure the kids aren't around, whatever, You pull the blinds down, right? What's that? A shame? That's what blinds were made for. Pull down, shame. You don't pull the blinds down when you're making a nice cherry pie for old Witta Hamilton, huh? I notice they stay up for that. Poor old Witta Hamilton. But that's not the point. The point is sex is a filthy, shameful thing. And one time I read this. This is the thing I read by a scientist. It was in one of those big science books, or else it was one line in USA Today. I can't remember. But it said this. It said, scientists now say that a man thinks about sex once every 7.3 seconds. Now, I know what I think once every 7.3 seconds. I'll just be walking down the street, you just, you're like, doodly-doo, hey, there's a building, doop-de-doop-dee. Hey, look at that, guy wearing cowboy boots over there, how about that? Doodly-doo, wonder if I should wear cowboy boots. I'm too old for that, sir. Oh, there's that building again. Hey, my ass is itchy over here. Can't scratch my ass out here in the street. Hey, Willie Nelson still wears cowboy boots. Billy Joe Shaver, too. Those fellers must be well on 310. Anyway, it's just a bunch of meaningless gibberish. That's my point. But it's not sex. And then the real time, this is the amount of time that you think about sex. Every once in a while, which is not a science. Scientists don't like that term. But every once in a while you think about it. And, like I think about it every couple days, or if you're a younger man, you probably think about it more, you know what I mean? But then the problem becomes, when you think about it, is all you can think about. You know what I mean? It just encompasses your whole brain. You know, you're just like, like a f***ing werewolf or something. Like, usually you're a civilized human being. But then every couple of days you're like, and then you gotta close the blinds, you know? And then, the bedroom, you gotta go back to the bedroom. Take a good lady back there. And then you go to your bedroom, which normally I love the bedroom. It's the most beautiful place where you can, finally escape this hellish joke we call life and just, lie on your Tempur-Pedic pillow and dream of jelly rolls and stuff like that. But now when you're in this state, you know what I mean? Then you go in and you're like, and the things that you do in that bedroom, good Lord God, it's beyond the imagination of you as a civilized human being most of the time. You know what I mean? You're in there, you're like, your mind's gone. Your mind is gone. That's all I know. You ever actually say things that you're doing, your mind's so gone, you're like, I am you, my is going, And then the lady's like, yeah, I know, whatever. You have to say it. Ladies don't have that thing. They're more elevated. I don't know what I can't speak for ladies. I don't know what the they do in the bedroom. I think they just try to make a noise they think you'll like, That's what. They're like, woo, how's that? You're like, that's fine. Girls don't have the same thing. How you can really know that is you ever be having a sex with a lady, the phone rings, lady can answer the phone. Whilst you're having sex, she's like, oh, yes, that's good, whatever that is, And then the phone rings, she's like, hello, and you're like, She's like, oh, hi, Marcy, what's going on? Well, you're not going to get it back. Because it's Shirley. Well, no, it's not you, honey. You're too good. Well, don't you remember the blouse? Look, sweetie, I'm on your side. I'll talk to you tomorrow. We'll go to lunch, have a endive salad, whatever. I don't know what the ladies eat. And then they can go back, go ahead, and you're like, But the point is, the guy would never answer the phone. It would be impossible. You could be like, ding, ding, hello? Yeah, hey, Frank, what's going on? Yeah, I remember that shirt. What's about? I gotta go. Frank's clearly not getting his shirt back, but you got no time for it, you got your head's gone. I'll tell you when sex is the most shameful, when you feel it the most, is a moment after sex. The moment, the smallest amount of time in physics, the moment, right after sex, that's when you're just a vessel of shame, You're just lying there like, ha, ha, ha. Well, that was odd, huh? All right. I guess I'll go get some sour cream and onion chips now. I'd prefer if we never spoke of this again. Would that be okay? That's why I never understood guys add more shame to it. You know what I mean? As if it's not shameful enough, some people will pile on more shame. You know what I mean? Like, you ever read about those guys, like they'll wear a rubber suit or something, and a lady will whip their balls, or I don't know what the but it all ends up the same, you're still like, but now you got a crazy get-up on, you're like, all right then. Why don't you go turn on Matlock and I'll take these rubber trousers off and put those in the hamper. So I'm very ashamed of sex and everything. Some people are proud of it, though. I have met guys that are proud of their sexual, prowess. You ever heard that word? I read that once. It means how good they are at sex. They'll brag about it. They'll go, I'll tell you, man, what I'm good at is, and sucking. Seems like the oddest thing, because how hard is sex? It's one of the easiest things that it's not like darts or something, You ever played darts? It's like, what? Triple, I can't. I keep getting 4. I don't know, but sex couldn't be simpler. I think there's only 5 things you can do in the whole thing, You ever think you invented a 6th? You're like, what about this? Then later you go, in all humility, I guess that was pretty close to number 4. You know who's really proud of their sex? You ever hear guys with small talk about it? Small guys, them guys, holy Lord. Can't talk about it enough. They even got poems, they'll say, it's not the motion of the ocean, it's the boat of the lotion. I don't know. I don't memorize the poems, but I've even heard variants of the same poem. It's it's not that tree of the size, it's the axe that you wax with the... It's a whole subgenre of poetry now that's taught in many of our finer institutions. Turns out guys with small nothing they love more than just spouting free verse at home about their... And the subtext of every one of these beautiful poems is it doesn't matter how big your is, it's what you do with it. Like the guy with the giant would have no clue. How would he possibly know? It's like, what do? You put it in and then you time stomped. I don't know. It's ironic. Everyone wants my giant, but I don't think I'll ever solve this rubric. I don't know. If only it was smaller and easier to maneuver. I can't figure it. I don't know. Listen, folks. I just want to say San Francisco's awesome, and I'm from LA, and hey, we can't wait to get your football team. We're looking forward to that. And how's OJ? OJ? Well, I've changed my mind on OJ. No, I'll tell you what I feel about OJ. As much as I was indignant about his acquittal, I'm equally indignant about his going to prison for stealing his own shirts. I don't think that's fair. I don't think if you steal your own shirts, you should get 35 consecutive life sentences. That doesn't seem fair to me at all. And now he's probably saying, I wish I got I wish I was put up for the other crime, because here's the thing. In prison, they have a pecking order. Now, in the pecking order, one of the top people on the pecking order are the double murderers. They're way up high. Very well-respected members of the old gray bar, community. But guys who steal their own shirts, they're at the lowest on the pecking order. And the pecking order involves a lot of ass, basically. And so I feel sorry for OJ, because I'm sure he's going, wait, I killed 2 people. I killed a waiter and my wife savagely. And they're like, we saw the trial. If the glove don't fit, you can't acquit. You stole a jersey and nothing more. Now get your ass over here. I have to it. No. There you go. God bless you, folks. I love you very much. Thank you so much.
Follow me, tweet, tweet.
Get ready.
Oh, Willie, he stays higher than $100 kite. He huffs and puffs and smokes that stuff every day and night. His friends all try to change him, begging, please quit, Willie, please. But still they hang around and breathe the same air that he breathes. Yeah, people and their problems are giving me a pain. People and their problems are messing with my brain.
Keep right, and then turn right. Turn right. Get ready to turn left. Turn left, and then turn right. Turn right. This is where it ends.